finally with a big fight. Not that your fights in the past haven't been big, but it just seemed like every time you were supposed to fight somebody, that guy disappeared and you had to fight someone else. And you were obviously motivated. You won those fights, but does this feel different now that you're getting a guy like Joe Riggs with a really good resume behind him?
I mean, yeah, absolutely, man. I mean, a lot of people keep focusing on my title fight, situation, Diaz situation. I mean, at the end of the day, I'm fighting a guy, Joe Riggs. He has a great name in the sport. He's been around. He's been on the top shows, and this is what I want right now. I want top guys, guys that with names that after the fight, I have something to gain. My stock goes up, and this is a great opportunity for me.
So I talked to him earlier. I was trying to generate some heat because Joe's good at generating the heat, but he likes you.
Yeah.
What'd you do wrong? I think you're the only guy he likes.
I mean, me and Joe go back, a few years. I've trained with him back a couple years back, and we've always been cool when we see each other outside the cage. I like Joe too personally. He makes me laugh. He's a funny guy. But come the 30th, it's all business. I know it's for him too. You get a guy across from you trying to hurt you. I mean, it's fight time. But again, outside person-wise, Joe Riggs is a great guy.
And it seems to me like Joe is a guy that you welcome to fight because obviously, we mentioned the resume. It's a good win on your record if you can get it. The other thing is some of your fights recently have been frustrating going against guys who didn't want to fight. So this could actually, there's a risk, but there could be a big reward too.
Yeah, I mean, again, at the end of the day, this is what I want in my career. I want my stock to go up. I want to fight guys. I'm not running from anybody. I want to fight the top guys. I want to be the best I could be in this sport. And by doing that, you have to fight, great fighters. So, that's what I'm here for. I train just as hard as the next man, and I feel I'm ready for these opportunities. So, I welcome the challenges.
You finally get someone who's going to push the pace. Do you expect him to stand? What do you think he's going to do?
Joe's well-rounded. I mean, he comes to the table with a well-rounded game just like myself. So, this fight could go anywhere, and it'll be good. I mean, I know he's good on the ground. His wrestling is good, and his stand-up is good. So, at this point, though, I'm not really focused on what Joe's doing. I'm focused on what I'm doing. I'm mentally here. I'm focused. I mean, right now it's just getting my weight down, weighing in, and getting out there and performing. I've done all the hard work and training. I've done all, I'm mentally prepared. I'm in a good place, and, it's just a countdown, pretty much hours now until we get to the fight on Saturday night.
So we talked a few months ago about Diaz. You've been through all that. He's going to fight Zaromskis. We had Scott Coker tell someone during an interview that they offered you Zaromskis. Is that true or not? And if they did, why'd you say no dice?
They offered Zaromskis, yes, but we wanted Diaz. That makes for the better title fight. No, Zaromskis, I'm taking nothing away from the guy. He's a talented guy, but the fans don't know him in the U.S. So we wanted Diaz. That made the most sense to us. Get Diaz in the title fight. That's a great fight for the fans. Everybody. When I said I was fighting Diaz, when I was scheduled to fight him, everybody was so interested, and they were hyped up for that fight. So me and my manager, we thought we would keep pushing for Diaz, and it would happen. Obviously it didn't. So we're here now. Again, all that's water under the bridge, and I'm fighting Joe Riggs Saturday night, which is still, to me, it's a great fight. And I think everything happens for a reason, and we'll keep moving forward. After the fight, we'll sit down and see what's the next step.
Yep.
But I'm not looking past Riggs at all. I know he's a tough guy. He's coming to fight. He's been there before. He's been on the top levels. This is something right now. This is what makes me excited for this fight, because this is a fight I've wanted for so long. So at the end of the day, everything happens for a reason.
There is a business side to the sport, though, and you just mentioned a little strategy, a little philosophy there. Do we have a straight story on what your contract deal is? Do you have one fight or two fights?
I'm not sure. My manager has all the stuff right there. I really hasn't even pressed him for that issue. So, again, right after the fight, we'll sit down and see what's going on. It's Saturday, Sunday or Monday we'll be talking, see what's the next step.
You got an interesting discussion. Your experience with watching guys in the camp go to UFC. Some have done well. Some get lots of fights. Other guys, don't get as many fights. So it's kind of like, you don't want to have the small fish in the giant pond get lost thing, and yet you don't want to be the big fish in the small pond and have no one to eat.
Yeah, I mean, I've been through so much stuff in my career too that, I think it's been another great thing for me. I'm not saying that controversy and all the drama in my stuff I want it, but at the end of the day, I think it helps me because I know I've been through a lot of stuff, and I still can go out and perform, and do what I do. And again, I don't look too far ahead. I got my fight with Riggs come Saturday night, and that's what I'm focused on. Everything else is it comes to second right now. We'll sit down and see what's going on. We'll pull my contract up. We'll see who I'm fighting next. I'm not even thinking about Diaz. I'm not even worried about the title right now. I just want to go out Saturday night and perform and feel great. How I feel right now, I feel great, So, I'm excited, man. It's a great fight.
Last one, good deal for you to get at least on the video feed. Obviously they set that up. That's a new deal with EA Sports.
Yeah, I mean, definitely, thanks for EA for stepping up. They stepped up to my last fight and sponsored me. Even though my fight wasn't televised, and it's a blessing. I mean, that's another situation where I wasn't worried. They said my fight wasn't televised prelim. Hey, I have no control over the situation. I had to not worry about it, because you start focusing on all the the negative stuff, and you start that becomes the energy. So I always knew something would happen. Me and Riggs are A-level fighters. So it's all good, man. I mean, I'm happy. I'm definitely excited that EA Sports is stepping up, and I'm happy to be a part of their video game coming out, and it's all good.